Welcome to Urban Legends, and in today's video, we're looking into reports of a giant spider that is said to inhabit the forests of Central Africa. Local tribes speak about it with fear, not skepticism, and they hastily avoid the areas in which it lives. This is the story of the J'ba Fofi, the Congo's most terrifying cryptid. The J'ba Fofi is a creature that is said to live in the Congo region of Central Africa, close to the Baka people who have lived in the forests for many generations. This cryptid is described as a giant spider, much larger than any arachnid that is known to science. According to these stories, the J'ba Fofi can grow to be as big as a small car, with legs that stretch out several feet in all directions. The people who tell these stories believe that the spider is very strong and can catch animals much larger than normal spiders can. The J'ba Fofi is said to live deep in the thick rainforests of the Congo Basin, which is a huge area of jungle that covers parts of several countries, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Cameroon, Gabon, and the Central African Republic. This rainforest is very dense and humid, filled with many kinds of trees, plants, and animals that live in the shade and undergrowth. The spider is believed to make its home by digging burrows in the ground, often hidden under leaves or roots, and by spinning large webs between trees and bushes. These webs are usually round and very wide, placed in quiet places where people don't often go. The stories say that the J'ba Fofi is most active during the early morning and late evening, times when the forest is calm and quiet. It is said to use its powerful webs to catch birds, small animals, and sometimes even larger creatures. Some of the legends say it is dangerous to humans, warning people to stay away from the places where the spider lives. One of the most frequently mentioned encounters with the J'ba Fofi comes from a group of Christian missionaries who were traveling through the rainforests of the Congo in the early 20th century. According to the account, they were moving through an undeveloped section of jungle, either by foot or in a small expedition convoy, when they came across a partially obscured trail. As they proceeded cautiously, two large spider-like creatures reportedly emerged from a nearby clearing or burrow. The creatures were described as hairy, brown, and significantly larger than any known arachnid, with leg spans estimated to be in the range of 4 to 5 feet. The behavior of the animals was immediately aggressive. One of the spiders moved quickly toward one of the missionaries and managed to bite him. The bite was said to cause immediate effects, including swelling, intense pain, and difficulty breathing. The group reportedly killed both spiders during the encounter, but despite their efforts to treat the bite, the injured missionary began to deteriorate rapidly. He experienced muscle spasms, a high fever, and eventually lost consciousness. Within a matter of hours, he was reported to have died from the effects of the venom. Another well-known encounter took place in what is believed to have been the 1950s, when a European couple were driving through a remote forested area, likely along one of the dirt roads common in the rural jungle interior at the time. While making their way along the road, the couple noticed movement ahead of their vehicle. At first, they assumed it was a small animal crossing, perhaps a monkey or a large bird. However, as their car approached, it became increasingly clear that the creature was unlike anything they had seen before. The animal was described as spider-like, with an unusually large body and long jointed legs that extended outward in a fashion consistent with large arachnids. The size was estimated to be roughly that of a small dog or large monkey, far exceeding the known dimensions of any native spider species. The creature reportedly moved swiftly across the road and vanished into the dense underbrush on the other side. The couple stopped the vehicle and were stunned by what they had just seen. There was no indication of aggression from the animal, nor did it attempt to interact with the vehicle. When they later described the sighting to local villagers, they were told that what they had seen was known in the region as a J'ba Fofi. To understand where the idea of a creature like the J'ba Fofi comes from, it's worth looking into the ancient past. Millions of years ago, the Earth was home to massive arthropods, which were creatures that looked a lot like today's insects and spiders, but were far larger, thanks to higher oxygen levels during the Carboniferous period. One creature often brought up is Megaracn, which was originally thought to be a giant prehistoric spider the size of a dinner plate. It was discovered in Argentina and caused a stir, but scientists later found out it wasn't a spider at all, it was a sea scorpion, or eurypterid. Still, the name stuck and helped fuel the idea that giant spiders might have once existed. There were also other huge creepy crawlies back then. Arthropleura, a giant millipede-like animal, could grow over 8 feet long, and Pulmonoscorpius, a massive scorpion, reached over 2 feet. While none of these were actual spiders, their size alone shows that nature once produced terrifyingly large arthropods. Some cryptid researchers believe it's possible that a distant relative of these creatures could have survived in remote places like the Congo rainforest. They often point to examples like the coelacanth, a fish once thought extinct but found alive in modern times, as proof that hidden species can surprise us. Even though no ancient spider has been found that matches the size of the J'ba Fofi, the fact that Earth once hosted giant bugs gives just enough plausibility for the legend to live on, and for people to keep looking over their shoulders in the jungle. When it comes to the J'ba Fofi, many people wonder what's really being seen. A spider the size of a car seems hard to believe, so several theories try to explain these sightings in more grounded ways. One idea is simple misidentification. The rainforests where these stories come from are thick and shadowy, making it easy to mistake animals like large tarantulas, monkeys, or pangolins for something more unusual, especially if someone is caught off guard or only sees it briefly. In those moments, the mind often fills in the blanks, and a normal animal can become something much scarier. Another explanation is the power of suggestion. If someone already knows the legend, they might be more likely to interpret anything strange as a giant spider. This is known as expectant perception, when your brain sees what it expects to see. The fear and mystery surrounding the story can shape what people think they saw, even without realizing it. Exaggeration also plays a role. A story told once might describe a spider that is larger than normal, but after it's repeated a few times, that spider could grow in size with each retelling. Over time, legends evolve, and details get more dramatic. Folklore is part of the picture too. In some African cultures, spiders hold deep symbolic meaning. They appear in stories as clever and powerful beings. Over time, these symbolic stories may blend with real-life fears, leading to sightings that mix myth and memory. Finally, some reports might come from hoaxes, misremembered details, or internet stories passed around as truth. In today's world, even a fictional account can quickly go viral and take on a life of its own. In the end, while people may genuinely believe they've seen something strange, that doesn't mean it was a giant spider. Fear, belief, and storytelling have a powerful way of shaping what we think we've experienced. People of the Congo area talk about the J'ba Fofi as if it is a real animal, however, with descriptions being consistent across the various tribes, many of whom do not have any contact with each other. Remember as well that the giant Goliath bird-eating spider was only officially recognized in 1804, when French entomologist Pierre Latreille classified it. Before that, reports of giant spiders that ate birds were considered by many Europeans to be exaggerated travelers' tales, so maybe the J'ba Fofi really is out there, hiding in the shadows, and waiting for its next victim.